Semifinal 2. The underdogs versus the favorites. If the first semifinal was tense, the second was a roller coaster. On one side were the experienced heavyweights, Pablo Lima and Maxi Sanchez, carrying years of glory, power, and consistency. On the other side, the rising stars, Miguel Yanguas and Coqui Nieto, the young guns with nothing to lose and everything to prove. From the start, Lima and Sanchez imposed themselves. Their smashes shook the court, their volleys cut like knives, and their experience seemed too much for the youngsters. The first set ended quickly at 6-2, leaving many to believe it was over. But then came the twist. Yanguas and Nieto refused to go down quietly. They adjusted their strategy, slowing the game, mixing drop shots with daring lobs and forcing the veterans out of their comfort zone. Suddenly, the crowd was roaring for the underdogs as they fought their way to a 7-6 tiebreak win in the second set. The deciding set was nothing short of chaos. Every point felt like destiny. Lima smashed, Yanguas countered. Sanchez roared, Nieto answered. At 5-4, with the youngsters serving for the match, the tension reached breaking point. A rally of 30 shots ended with Nieto's volley clipping the line. Match over. The arena erupted as the young pair toppled the Giants with a 2-6, 7-6, 6-4 victory, completing one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. Welcome back to the channel. We have just witnessed an absolute thriller here in Semifinal 2. The experienced duo of Pablo Lima and Maxi Sanchez took on the young guns of Miguel Yanguas and Coqui Nieto. And, oh, what a battle it was! Now, if you're a betting man, you might be asking yourself, where did that come from? How did the underdogs pull off such an upset? Well, let me tell you, there's no simple answer. This sport is a beautiful blend of skill, strategy, and sheer grit. And today, the youngsters brought their A game. Let's break it down for you. The first set was a masterclass in power and precision by Lima and Sanchez. They dictated the pace, they dominated the net, and they left the young pair with little room to breathe. It was a tough start, but the underdogs regrouped in the second set. They mixed up their game plan, employing clever drop shots and lobs to keep their opponents on their toes. It was a tactical masterstroke that paid off big time. The crowd was roaring by now. Every point was a hard-fought battle, and the youngsters clinched the set in a thrilling tiebreaker. But let's be honest, the real drama began in the third set. It was a seesaw battle with both pairs giving it their all. At 5-4, with the youngsters serving for the match, the tension was palpable. It felt like every shot, every movement was destined for greatness. And when Nieto's volley clipped the line to win the match, the crowd erupted. It was a moment that will be etched in the annals of padel history. Now, what made this victory even more remarkable was the way the youngsters played. They took risks, they went for broke, and they never gave up. It was a display of pure passion and skill that left the crowd spellbound. And let's not forget the role of experience. Lima and Sanchez, despite their years, were formidable opponents. They had the experience, the know-how, the mental toughness to win championships. But today, it wasn't enough. The youngsters outplayed them, out-strategized them, and outlasted them. As for the other semifinal, it was a battle between two titans. We had the fiery Fernando Belastiguin and the enigmatic Ale Galan on one side, and the consistent Juan Lebron and the stoic Andy Roos on the other. Now, I won't keep you in suspense. Bella and Gallo emerged victorious, setting up a final showdown with Yanguas and Nieto. But make no mistake, it was a hard-fought battle. LeBron and Roos showed why they are one of the most formidable pairs in the circuit. They were solid, they were strategic, and they were relentless. But Bella and Gallo, with their years of experience and their never-say-die attitude, proved to be just a bit better. So there you have it. The finalists are set. In one corner, we have the seasoned campaigners, Pablo Lima and Maxi Sanchez, and in the other, the rising stars, Miguel Yanguas and Coqui Nieto. Who will take home the trophy? Well, that's for you to decide. Join us tomorrow for the final showdown. It promises to be a nail-biter. Until then, keep playing, keep believing, and most importantly, keep enjoying the game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. The last two finalists have arrived at the track after an epic battle that lasted over 3 hours. They will face each other in the final. Who will lift the trophy? Will it be the favorites or the dark horses? Let's rewind to the start of this incredible journey. Our first semifinal brought the crowd to its feet instantly. On one side stood Alejandro Ruiz and Javi Rico, Spain's dynamic duo, known for their explosive smashes and relentless aggression. On the other side, Lucas Bergamini and Victor Ruiz, the clever tacticians who thrived on patience, control, and surgical precision. From the very first game, the atmosphere was electric. Ruiz and Rico came out firing, smashing down the walls, showing no mercy. But Bergamini and Ruiz refused to panic. They countered with perfect lobs, lightning reflexes at the net, and calm under pressure. At 4-4 in the opening set came one of the rallies of the tournament, nearly 45 shots of pure padel magic. Every smash was defended, every lob returned, until finally, Bergamini threaded a volley down the middle that left the Spanish pair frozen. The crowd exploded in applause and momentum swung their way. They closed the first set 7-5, leaving Ruiz and Rico visibly frustrated. But champions don't fall easily. In the second set, Rico unleashed his full arsenal, attacking at the net and firing winners down the line. The scoreboard ticked, the fans roared, and suddenly we had a decider on our hands after a 6-4 set win. The final set was a war. Tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. At 5-5, a single break of serve made all the difference. Bergamini and Ruiz held their nerve, sealing it 7-5, 4-6, 7-5 to book their spot in the final. The crowd rose to their feet, knowing they had just witnessed one of the best matches of the tournament. But the story doesn't end there. Our second semifinal was a clash of styles. On one side were the unseeded Danish pair of Jonathan and Milan, dark horses on a mission. On the other side stood Paquito Navarro and Martin Dineno, seasoned campaigners and fan favorites. The first set was a tight affair. Navarro and Dineno, with their powerful serves and aggressive returns, took the first set 6-4. The second set saw the underdogs grow in confidence, countering with clever lobs and exploiting every weakness they could find. The set went to a tiebreaker, which the Danes won, sending shockwaves through the crowd. In the deciding set, the momentum swung like a pendulum. At 5-5, a pivotal moment arrived. A foot fault on Navarro resulted in a point and a furious challenge. After a lengthy review, it was confirmed and the Danes snatched the break. They held on, winning the set 7-5 and sending the crowd into raptures. The upset was complete. The unseeded pair had reached their first ever final. And now they're here in the final, facing off against the formidable Lucas Bergamini and Victor Ruiz. As the players walked onto the court, the anticipation was palpable. Who would take the crown? The underdogs looking to make history, or the experienced campaigners aiming to regain their glory? The final started with a bang. Bergamini and Ruiz, true to form, came out strong, dictating the pace and forcing errors from their opponents. In the second set, the underdogs roared back to life. With the crowd's support, they fought tooth and nail, pulling off stunning rallies and making every shot count. At 5-5, a hush fell over the crowd. It was tense, anyone's game. Then it happened. A booming ace by Mayan, followed by a thunderous smash, brought set point. The stadium vibrated with excitement. And when Milan hit a winning volley, the crowd erupted. The underdog had leveled the match 1-1. The crowd buzzed with excitement. Could the underdogs pull off the unthinkable? As the third set began, the momentum had shifted. The underdogs were playing with the freedom of having nothing to lose, while the favorites were under pressure to deliver. The set went down to the wire. At 6-6, a tiebreaker loomed. The atmosphere was electric, with each point fiercely contested. The favorites took the early lead in the tiebreaker, but the underdogs fought back, showing remarkable resilience. The score seesawed, keeping the crowd on the edge of their seats. At 9-8, down came the crucial point, and when the underdog's return was ruled out, the crowd gasped. The favorites had taken the set, and with it, the match 6-3, 6-7, 7-6. As the confetti rained down and the crowd roared, one thing was clear. The favorites had triumphed, but the underdogs had stolen hearts. It had been a spectacle, a testament to the unpredictable nature of the sport. The question on everyone's lips, will we see another upset in the final? Only time will tell. Stay tuned because the final promises to be a showdown you don't want to miss. Who will claim the title? The favorites looking to cement their legacy, or the underdogs aiming for the impossible? The stage is set. The anticipation is at fever pitch. Will it be a repeat of the last upset, or will the favorites prevail? Don't miss the final episode to find out. See you then. It's time for the moment of truth. Who will join Bergamini and Ruiz in the final? Will it be the experienced Lima and Sanchez, or the young guns, Yanguas and Nieto? Stay tuned because the tension is about to reach boiling point. Welcome to our channel, your place for all things padel. As the sun set over Lisbon, the energy on Court 1 was electric. Bergamini and Ruiz were first to arrive, strolling onto the court with their usual composure. But their opponents were a different story. Yanguas and Nieto were a whirlwind of nervous energy, their youth and inexperience evident as they struggled to find their rhythm. Meanwhile, on Court 2, Lima and Sanchez, the seasoned veterans, knew exactly what was at stake. They had a point to prove after their stunning loss in the first match. With focused expressions, they wasted no time getting down to business. But over on Court 1, the underdogs Nieto and Yanguas were putting up a valiant fight. Despite their inexperience, they were determined to make their mark on this tournament. As the first set progressed, the underdogs' fighting spirit became more evident. Their powerful smashes and clever lobs kept their opponents on the back foot, and before anyone knew it, they had taken the first set. In the stands, the crowd roared with excitement. This was a performance for the ages. The underdogs had taken an early lead, and nobody could predict what might happen next. Now, let's shift our focus to Court 2. Lima and Sanchez were in their element, showcasing the skills and experience that have made them a formidable force in the paddle world. They took control of the first set, dominating rallies and forcing their opponents into making unforced errors. With the first set comfortably under their belt, Lima and Sanchez seemed poised to take control of the match. But then something unexpected happened. The experienced duo started to feel the pressure of the underdog's relentless fighting spirit. In an astonishing turn of events, Lima and Sanchez dropped the second set. As the third and deciding set got underway, the tension was palpable. Every point was fiercely contested, every rally a battle. But as fate would have it, Lima and Sanchez prevailed, edging out a victory in the third set. On Court 1, the story was no less dramatic. After taking the first set, the underdogs found themselves in a precarious position. Bergamini and Ruiz were regrouped and ready to make a comeback. The favorites started to assert their dominance, their experience and skill shining through. They clawed their way back into the match, taking the second set and bringing the match to a deciding set. As the two teams battled it out in the third set, the crowd on the edge of their seats, the tension was almost unbearable. But ultimately, it was the experience of Bergamini and Ruiz that told as they emerged victorious in the third set. When the dust settled, Lisbon was still trembling with excitement. Two incredible semifinals. Two unforgettable battles. On one side, the calm brilliance of Bergamini and Ruiz making their way to the final. On the other, the fearless underdogs, Yanguas and Nieto, shocking the world and earning their shot at glory. The emotions on court said it all. Ruiz and Rico walked off devastated with their heads held high, knowing how close they came. Lima and Sanchez hugged their opponents with class, showing respect for the young stars who had just dethroned them. And in the stands, fans couldn't stop talking about what they had just witnessed. It wasn't just about who won and lost. It was about the drama, the heart, the unforgettable points that reminded everyone why padel is becoming one of the fastest-growing sports in the world. Before we leave, here's a sneak peek into the final. What will Bergamini and Ruiz do to secure their spot in the winner's circle? Will they continue their winning streak, or will Yangua's and Nieto's fairy tale continue? Tune in next time to find out. And that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this thrilling match recap, don't forget to stay tuned for more exciting updates from the world of paddle. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to World Paddle Tour. As the night drew to a close, one thing was clear. The FIP Silver Lisboa Racket Center 2025 finals were going to be unmissable. On one side, Bergamini and Ruiz, the experienced duo with tactical brilliance. On the other, Yanguas and Nieto, the fearless underdogs who refused to bow to pressure. The semifinals gave us everything. Thrilling rallies, comebacks, upsets, and unforgettable moments. And now, fans all over the world are asking, who will lift the trophy? Will experience triumph, or will youth shock the world once again? Whatever happens, Lisbon has already written a chapter of padel history. The semifinals weren't just matches. They were battles etched in the memory of every fan lucky enough to witness them. And now, all eyes turn to the final where destiny awaits. But before we look ahead, we must rewind to the electrifying moments of the previous day. The first semifinal saw the seasoned campaigners, Bergamini and Ruiz, face off against the rising stars, Yanguas and Nieto. From the outset, it was clear that this wouldn't be a walk in the park for the veterans. Yanguas and Nieto, the underdogs of the tournament, had other plans. Their youthful exuberance and attacking prowess caught Bergamini and Ruiz off guard. Despite their opponents' best efforts, the young guns took the first set, sending shockwaves through the crowd. But the experienced duo refused to go down without a fight. Bergamini and Ruiz regrouped, their years of experience guiding them as they clawed their way back into the match. The veterans' tactical brilliance and strategic shot-making proved instrumental in turning the tide. The match became a seesaw battle, each team refusing to yield. However, in the end, it was the seasoned campaigners who prevailed, securing a hard-fought victory. Despite the loss, Yanguas and Nieto had shown the world they are a force to be reckoned with, and their impressive run to the semifinals has cemented their status as rising stars on the paddle circuit. The second semifinal was equally intense as the top seeds, Chingoto and Tello, were challenged by the resilient duo of Dineno and Coelho. From the first point, it was evident that this match would be a clash of titans. Chingoto and Tello, known for their aggressive style of play, started strong, putting pressure on their opponents from the baseline. However, Dineno and Coelho, the underdogs of the tournament, were not intimidated. They held their ground, absorbing the pressure and waiting for their opportunity to strike back. The first set went down to the wire with Chingoto and Tello prevailing by a narrow margin, but this only seemed to motivate Dineno and Coelho further. In the second set, the underdogs came out swinging, their determination evident in every shot. Despite their best efforts, Dineno and Coelho fell just short, losing the second set and with it, their chance to make it to the finals. As the dust settled on the second semifinal, all eyes were on the reigning champions, Chingoto and Tello. Could they make it 2 titles in a row? Or would the dark horses, Yanguas and Nieto, pull off another upset? The stage was set for an epic showdown. The final promised to be a spectacle of athleticism, strategy, and sheer determination. And as the players took to the court, the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. The final began with a bang as both teams displayed their signature playing styles. Yanguas and Nieto, the underdogs, came out swinging, their youthful energy evident in their powerful shots. But Chingoto and Tello, the defending champions, were not easily intimidated. The reigning champs showcased their experience and tactical prowess, weathering the early storm and finding their rhythm as the game progressed. Set by set, the tension mounted, with each team refusing to back down. It was a display of paddle at its finest, leaving the crowd on the edge of their seats. But in the end, it was Chingoto and Tello who emerged victorious, retaining their title and cementing their status as kings of the court. And so, the FIP Silver Lisboa Racket Center 2025 came to an end with Chingoto and Tello lifting the trophy for the second consecutive year. Their victory was a testament to their skill, strategy, and sheer determination. But the real winners of the tournament were the fans who witnessed an unforgettable display of paddle. From the stunning rallies to the nail-biting finishes, the FIP Silver Listopad 2025 was a spectacle that will be remembered for years to come. As the players departed Lisbon, one thing was clear: the city had once again proven itself to be a hotbed of paddle talent, and the future of the sport is looking brighter than ever. Welcome back to another exciting day of action here in beautiful Lisbon, Portugal at the FIP Silver Colistan Open 2025. Today, we are in for a treat because we have got the semifinals. So, two amazing matches to look forward to. First match of the day on center court is going to be an all-Spanish affair as Javi Garrido and Pablo Cardona take on the number 2 seeds, Adai Santana and Juan Munoz de la Niera. And then later on we have got the home favorites, the Portuguese pairing of João Domingues and Miguel Oliveira, who are going to be taking on the number 1 seeds, the Italian pairing of Marco Casal and Andrea Vavasori. So two great matchups today. So let's start off with that first semifinal. The first match on center court will have an all-Spanish affair. Let's get into it. So in the first set, you could tell that both these teams were feeling the pressure of the occasion. They were a little bit tense, a little bit nervous. Both these pairs have had some incredible results recently. Adai and Juan, of course, winning the silver medal at the European Championships, and Javi and Pablo, of course, winning the gold medal at the World Championships. So both these pairs know what it takes to win at the highest level. But I think in this first set the experience really showed as Adai and Juan, the more experienced pair, they managed to get over the line first. They took the first set 6-4, and then in the second set, things started to get a little bit heated. There was a lot of arguing going on. There was a lot of frustration. And then there was a point where Javi and Pablo actually walked off court. They were so frustrated. But they came back, they settled down, and they took the second set 6-3. So we go to a deciding set. And I think whoever won this match was going to have to dig really deep, because both these pairs want this. You can see how much it means to them. And in the end, the more experienced pair, the number 2 seeds, Adai Santana and Juan Munoz de la Niera, they managed to get over the line. They won 10-8 in the third set super tiebreak, so a very hard-fought victory for the Spanish pair. Well done to them, they're through to the final. So let's take a look at that second semifinal now between the Portuguese pair of João Domingues and Miguel Oliveira versus the Italian pair of Marco Casal and Andrea Vavasori. What a matchup this was. The crowd was absolutely rocking. The atmosphere was electric, and again, we had two players who had incredible results recently. Of course, Marco and Andrea winning the European title, and then João and Miguel, the Portuguese Open champions. So, as you can imagine, the first set was extremely tight. Every game went to deuce. It was a real battle. But in the end, the Italian pair, the number 1 seeds, Marco Casal and Andrea Vavasori, they managed to take the first set 7-6. But the crowd was not happy at this point because they wanted their home heroes to win. And the noise just got louder and louder as the second set went on. And it paid off, because João and Miguel, the Portuguese pair, they took the second set 6-3. And again, we go to a deciding super tiebreak, but this time around, the Italians, the number 1 seeds, they managed to get over the line 10-4 in the end. So they join their fellow Italians in the final tomorrow. Well done to them. So an all-Italian final tomorrow, which is going to be an exciting prospect. But before we get to that, we have got the small matter of the third-place playoff. And what better way to do it than an all-Spanish affair? So Javi and Pablo will be looking to bounce back. They'll be looking to get some pride back for Spain. And then Adai and Juan will be looking to add another medal to their collection. So this is not going to be an easy match, but whichever team wins, they've had an incredible week here in Lisbon. So, guys, thank you for watching another exciting day here in Lisbon, Portugal, and we'll see you later on for the evening session. Until then, keep on smashing. Hi guys, welcome to this video. What happens when football meets food? In this video, I take you through my journey of trying food from every country I've played in. From English roasts to Spanish tapas and Italian pasta, discover the flavors that shaped my life on and off the pitch. Now, before we dive into all the tasty details, let me give you a quick tour of how this whole culinary adventure kicked off. If you're new here, I'm a professional footballer who's had the amazing opportunity to play in over 20 different countries. And let me tell you, each place has its own unique taste and style of play, just like their food. So join me as I take you through my unforgettable experiences trying local dishes in more than 40 different leagues around the world. Get ready for an exciting mix of football and food that will leave you hungry for more. Let's kick off our global culinary journey. My first stop on this food journey takes us to Portugal, the place where my professional career began. Portugal is known for its passion for football, but let me tell you, the food there is just as passionate. The dish that changed everything for me? Bacalhau à Brás, a mix of shredded codfish, potatoes, and eggs. At first, I was skeptical. Codfish with eggs? But after the first bite, I understood why the Portuguese say there are more than 1,000 ways to cook cod. Moving on to Spain, the home of some of the greatest players ever. Spain is also home to some serious flavors. I remember the first time I tried paella. This rice dish cooked with saffron and seafood in Valencia. It was love at first bite. Paella is not just a meal, it's an experience. It's like a party in your mouth with every ingredient dancing together in perfect harmony. And who could forget about the birthplace of pizza? Italy welcomed me with open arms and an even wider smile. My teammates and I would head out after training to try all the famous pizza places in Naples. The thin, crispy crust topped with fresh ingredients made me realize that pizza is more than just food. It's a piece of art, a true masterpiece. Now, my time in Germany gave me a taste of something truly special, the famous currywurst. This dish of grilled sausage topped with curry ketchup is a must-try for any foodie. And let me tell you, Germans know how to do sausages. It's a simple yet delicious combination that will make your taste buds dance. Heading over to Turkey, I discovered the magic of Turkish cuisine. One of my favorite memories is trying a traditional kebab called manaish, stuffed with melted cheese and salsa. The combination of juicy, flavorful meat and fresh toppings was a revelation. Kebab is more than just a dish. It's a celebration of Middle Eastern flavors that will leave you wanting more. The Netherlands welcomed me with a hearty surprise: stamppot. This comforting dish of mashed potatoes mixed with vegetables and often served with a sausage is like a warm hug on a cold day. The Dutch know how to make simple ingredients taste extraordinary, and stamppot is a testament to that. Now, let's take a trip down under to Australia. I remember my first bite of a meat pie, a flaky pastry filled with a rich, savory beef stew. It was a symphony of flavors that made me appreciate the diverse culinary landscape of Down Under. Meat pies are more than just a food item. They're a cultural icon that will warm your heart and satisfy your soul. And what's a journey without a little spice? My time in India taught me the true meaning of flavorful exploration. One of my most memorable experiences was trying a spicy vindaloo curry. The rich, tangy gravy with chunks of succulent meat simply blew my mind. Indian food is not just a cuisine. It's an adventure for your taste buds that will leave you craving for more. Now, let's head back to Europe for a taste of England. Roast dinners were a weekly tradition for me, consisting of succulent roast chicken or beef, creamy mashed potatoes, and a medley of colorful vegetables. The British know how to elevate a Sunday lunch to a feast fit for royalty. Roast dinners are more than just a meal. They're a comforting tradition that will make you feel right at home. Now let's cross the Irish Sea to Ireland. There's nothing quite like a bowl of Irish stew to warm you up on a chilly day. This hearty dish of tender lamb, fluffy potatoes, and fresh vegetables is a true celebration of Irish flavors. Irish food is more than just a cuisine. It's a reflection of the warmth and hospitality of the Irish people that will leave you feeling full and satisfied. Heading to France, I was in for a treat. My first croissant in Paris tasted like pure heaven. The buttery, flaky pastry simply melted in my mouth. French cuisine is an art form, and croissants are a perfect example of that. It's a culinary experience that will make you feel like you're dining in a Parisian cafe. Now, let's take a trip to Brazil, the land of football and delicious food. My first feijoada left me speechless. This black bean stew with chunks of crispy bacon and sausage was a flavor explosion in my mouth. Brazilian food is a vibrant celebration of global influences that will make you feel like you're in a carnival parade. And who could forget about Argentina, the birthplace of some of the most legendary players? My first asado was an unforgettable experience. This traditional barbecue feast, featuring succulent grilled meats and a variety of sauces and sides, is a true celebration of Argentinian flavors. Asado is more than just a meal. It's a social event that brings people together and creates lasting memories. From the vibrant streets of Mexico to the bustling markets of Morocco, I've had the pleasure of trying a wide array of cuisines. Each bite has been an adventure, a discovery of new flavors and textures that have expanded my palate and left me craving for more. The beauty of global cuisine lies in its diversity, its ability to transport us to different cultures and create unforgettable memories. Whether I'm enjoying a steaming bowl of ramen in Japan or savoring the sweetness of baklava in Greece, every dish tells a story of tradition, of family, and of the joy of sharing a meal with loved ones. One of the things I've loved the most about my journey is the way that food has brought people together. From my teammates to the locals I've met along the way, sharing a meal has been a way to connect, to learn about different customs, and to create lasting friendships. The warmth of a Moroccan welcome over a tagine, or the camaraderie of a pub in Ireland over a pint of Guinness, is something I'll always cherish. As I continue my journey around the world, I know that the best is yet to come. With each new destination, I bring home a piece of the culture, a flavor that lingers on my palate, and a memory that warms my heart. I encourage you to join me on this adventure. Try new foods, explore different cuisines, and celebrate the joy of eating. Who knows where your culinary journey will take you and what amazing discoveries await. In one of my next videos, I am going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is pre-match meals, because the food that you eat before a game can be crucial. Stay tuned for that video and also for more delicious updates. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy eating and bon appetit.